now then. Been a while, hasn't it? Where did that season go? Because it wasn't up here, I can tell you. Freezing. Absolutely freezing it's been. But here we are. Let's get the fish through winter, shall we? So it's come to that time of year again. All the leaves are starting to drop on the aces. The red ones at the back are almost gone. These green ones are starting to fall now. The fish are starting to sulk because of the cold, but other than that, everyone seems okay. Gone a bit picky with the food this last week again, the cold. But touch wood, no one's given us any real problems. So this year looking to do something a bit different. Previously we have used the smaller sieves as biochambers, knocked the waterfall off, knocked all the back filtration off to keep everything at a smaller footprint to reserve heat from the ground and not lose it. The problem with that I've been having is trying to kickstart all of the filtration again for the summer. It's just taken longer and longer to get the bacteria levels all built back up. Obviously bigger fish now, more fish now. So I want to run the whole system through winter without switching it off, and hopefully without losing in heat and making dangerous temperature levels for the fish. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to cover over the waterfall with a frame and some polycarbonate sheets that I've got, and then we're also covered over with all the filters in the back filter shed we've got now. Let's go and take a look at that. So we priced up some polycarbonate for this, but it was just a ridiculous price. 3 sheets of it from B&Q just to cover the waterfall, and I was at almost 180 quid. So I wasn't polycarbonate all of the filter shed. So we've got a clear tarpaulin for £40. We've made a lean-to roof off the back fence, and yeah, we're going to give that a go. Hopefully I've got it structurally tied down tight enough for the winds, but that we'll have to wait and see. So in here we have put some old artificial grass down on the decking just to stop the draft coming through from underneath. Blanked off the sides, all of the back fence with some plastic and some old window panes. So we should be pretty good in here. It's already, you can feel the temperature difference, and there's no sunshine on it today. So this is the plan for this. All this will be able to run in here, protect us from the frost, and if the sun shines, it might even gain a bit of heat in here. Right, so before we prepare to cover over, Right, I've just turned the waterfall and the air off so that I can now observe the fish in the still water and just give them a good visual check over. There's no point in netting them and stressing them out in this colder weather, so this is, I mean, the water's clear enough. I can get a good look around them when the water's still. See, everyone's looking alright. The rest of the group are over here. The tube has put on some good size this year. That's the new Tikasui from Jack, Shisui from Jack. There's the other Shisui in the bottom, which a new purchase this year. The Lemon Harawaki from Jack. They're just cruising round. It's a bit different for them with the waterfall being off in the air. Obviously a lot more peaceful and relaxing this way, but unfortunately this system couldn't run like this for them all the time. Let's just get them through winter and hopefully, as we always say, we have a decent summer next year. I don't know how we're kidding like, but we can always hope. We'll get some more size put on them and we're able to come out here and enjoy being around them more. Tuba, big girl. Yes, very happy with their progress this year and looking forward to see the new additions, what happens with them next year. Oh, bloody winter. Never mind. So then, as I've said, we're going to try and run the system a bit different this year. So the first thing we're going to do to keep the waterfall in play, yes, I've got a pink gin there. Just, well, winter's coming, might as well get ready for it, get the system topped up with some alcohol. Pink gin seems to be all that was left in the house, so I'll use that. Anyway, we're going to keep the waterfall in play, so I don't want the wind chill and the water coming back from the filters being exposed to the cold nights we're going to have. So I'm going to make some covers for that, which protects us from the worst of the wind and the minus temperatures that we're going to get. We shall keep that in play. So to do that, I'm going to make a very basic frame which will just attach to the waterfall, very easy to take on and off. Simple engineering here. I want it just to be able to withstand any winds but do the job of putting the polycarbonate on the right angle. I need to match this awkward shape of the actual waterfall itself. So we'll take a quick look how we're going to do that. So what we've done is I've used a couple of the old fence posts that I saved when the 6-foot posts had rotted at the bottom. There was still a lot of good posts left, so I kept them. Obviously wood these days not cheap, so let's make always comes in handy for our projects that we're doing. 3 posts cut down, got the angles right on them so it'll have the correct lean I need to come from the waterfall to the pond edge. and now we'll see just how we're going to attach them. I wanted something quick and simple to attach, so we went for just a couple of stainless steel carriage bolts that I can just push out, lock into place on either side. So as you can see, them 2 bolts pushed out into place. We'll be ready to receive some pre-drilled holes that I put into the wooden posts. So now we'll just get that put in place and then we'll take it from there. So that's our very basic frame in place. As you just seen, very easy to put on. Attaches to the bolts, a couple of screws in the bottom support, and all the angles are there right to accept the polycarb sheeting that I've cut to size, ready to place on. So we'll go and get the polycarb now and start doing that. Right, so I've made myself a load of polycarb covers out of the 3 sheets that I bought. We've cut them and labelled them all up for the sizes that we need, so I know where to put them around the waterfall once I get involved in putting it all together. First I've got to just tape all the edges up with some foil tape, just to keep all the damp and moisture out of the middle of the polycarb, stop it going green and damp, etc. So we'll do that and then we're going to get them on. Right, that's the polycarbonate all taped up, so we're now going to put that on. So I can't believe that was £180. Absolutely rip off. Never mind. Let's see what it does. Well, that's worked very good. Happy with that. So that's the waterfall fully enclosed now. You see there, and it fits in nicely on the underside. See how far over. Yep. So I've got the pipework floating in there, which will act as a divide and a spacer for when the balls go on, which won't be yet, but not be long. Right, and so one of the last things that we need to protect is the Baki river, which is underneath the decking. So what we'll have here is, you'll have seen on previous videos, but in the back chamber there's a full tank full of locust tree mountain media, Then this submerged vortex full of biohouse media. Then the last chamber is the old Biotech 10 with some grog and some other stuff in some baskets. So altogether that makes my Baki river. But what we need to do now is I've made some lids for these out of insulation sheets. So one here, as you can see, it's that type of therm board, but I've wrapped it in an old pond liner for the surface that's going to touch the filter. So that will go in there, and then the bigger one, which is here, will go there, hopefully. So, and once they're in place, we've got the covers, which is just more pond liner and a bit of pool. Simply roll out and cover over the top of them. So that will keep the Baki river protected from the frost. That's the plan for that. The next thing we're going to do is we're not going to run this old Nexus through the winter. We'll just use it for extra flow really in the summertime. You see, we don't have any media even in the outer chamber. But I'm going to save the media that has colonised with beneficial bacteria. Take that centre chamber out, and my plan is to then put it inside of the filter house, inside of the vat that's in there at the minute. So I'm going to do that. So that's that emptied out now. For anyone who's interested, it was one full Tesco's carrier bag, full to the absolute brim of micro K1 was in there. So what we've had to do is raise the height of the stainless central chamber, because the vat it's going to sit in is obviously a lot deeper than the Nexus it was from. Easy enough done. We've had some spare 2-inch pipe left over, which just sat nicely inside of the stainless leg. So 4 of those, easy enough. We took out the centre intake that's normally in the middle of it, and we've just blanked off the bottom with some pieces of stainless steel I had to keep all the media in the basket. So we'll get that now put into the vat. Right, we're getting that in there now. Good time to see. The sun actually does shine down on this corner of the garden a lot, so you get some of the transfer of the heat through the plastic, which is what we're after in the winter. So we've just found a position for that inside the vat. I've attached a little temporary airline to it just to keep the media bubbling over so it doesn't get stagnant in there, as it's going to be in here for the winter now. So that's how that's going to remain until come spring. Right then, so all that leaves us to do is get these balls on. So I'm going to wash them off, start bucketing them in, and that'll be it. They'll be on for the winter then. End of season. Goodbye fish. Right, all I've been doing, we've got the majority of the balls in here with a PP dip. They're getting a good swill around in there. Just see it. It's pretty dark. Then from there, they're going into this one. which I've punctured holes in the bottom of it because it was ripped anyway. So using it as like kind of sieve. Then we're simply rinsing them off, bucketing them out, and chucking them in here. And I'm having a beer in the process, as you can see. Right, so yep, easy enough. Load them in. They sort themselves out to where they want to be, and that's one side done. So I'm only going to do the one side for now, because it's actually, you can see the sun sets on this side. So that gets the last of the day's sun, so add a bit of warmth to it. And they're still eating at the minute as well. Just spooked them a bit there, but they are eating. So we're not going to fully cover over just yet. We'll take a quick look at what temperature we've got at the minute. So we are currently holding 11.7. So that's not bad. This time of year, bit of a freak warm week up here. But we all know it's coming to an end now, so it'll not be long before I get the other half of these balls on and we say goodbye to them for a full season. So until then, what I'm going to do is I'll leave yous with some of the summer, the 2 days of it that we did have, and you can see I was out enjoying a bit of the garden and the koi this season. So I might get back to you again and show you putting the rest of the balls on, following the temperature a bit through winter, then we'll go from there. But until then, thanks a lot, bye now.